At Castrol, we know what goes on under the bonnet, and that under every Castrol user, there is a potential DIYer. The good news is that changing your oil yourself isn't only a money saver, it's a lot easier than it sounds, and we're here to show you how. Whether you're a first timer or an old hand, it's important to remember safety comes first. Before you start, it's important to make sure that you have everything you need. A jack and axle stands, a new oil filter, an oil filter remover, a socket wrench set, open-ended wrench for the drain plug, a large drain pan, a funnel, safety glasses, mechanic or disposable latex gloves, and of course, some Castrol engine oil. Choosing the right oil for your car is very important. Your car's owner's manual will recommend what grade of oil you should use under normal driving conditions, or log on to Castrol's website for a comprehensive lube guide. The things to look for are the right viscosity, quantity, and change interval. Be sure to check your owner's manual for any special conditions and do not exceed the warranty recommendations. Now it's time to get started. Check the owner's manual for any safety precautions. Make sure your work area is clean and the car is parked on a level surface. Cold oil won't drain properly, so idle your car for 5 to 10 minutes to bring it up to normal operating temperature. Then switch off the engine, raise the bonnet, and loosen the oil cap to avoid creating a vacuum and to help the oil drain more freely. Many modern cars have yellow caps on all fluids, making them easier to find. Now, put your car in first gear if it's a manual, or park if it's an auto, with the handbrake up. Make sure you chock the rear wheels with a piece of wood or a brick. Now locate a suitable jacking point and raise the car. Do not use your car's factory jack for this. Use a heavy-duty hydraulic jack that's rated to handle the weight of your car. Now support the car with axle stands. You're now ready to drain the old oil. Many modern cars have a splash or under tray which should be removed to make servicing easier. They are generally quite simple to remove. Now locate the oil drain plug, which is located at the bottom of the sump under the engine. Next, place the drain pan underneath the sump plug. Using the correct wrench, turn the sump plug anti-clockwise until it rotates freely. Finish removing the plug by hand, being careful if the oil is still hot. Let the oil drain into the pan. Your car's owner's manual will help you find the oil filter, which needs to be removed using an oil filter remover or filter wrench. Once loose, remove it by hand, being careful of the oil that will spill out. The oil inside the filter needs to be emptied into the drain pan. Now, use a rag to clean the filter seat on the engine. Then, add some oil to the rubber gasket on the new oil filter. This will help it seal correctly. If fitment allows, pour some new Castrol engine oil into the filter before installing it. Once aligned properly, the filter will thread easily. Tighten the filter by hand. Now clean the sump drain plug and reinstall by hand before tightening with a wrench, being careful not to over-tighten. Now reinstall any removed splash guards or under trays and lower the car down in reverse order. Now comes the most important part, adding Castrol oil to your engine. Now unscrew the oil filter cap completely and place in the funnel. Fill your engine with the required amount of Castrol engine oil, checking the level with the dipstick. Replace the cap and wipe off any spillage. Now run the car for several minutes. The oil light on the dash should go off within a few seconds. Check underneath the car for any leaks before switching off the car. Now check the oil level again and top up as required. Be sure to keep a written record in your glove compartment of the date and kilometres for each oil change so you can keep track of when the next one is required. The final step is the proper and safe disposal of the used oil, as it is highly toxic to the environment. Transfer the used oil to a sealed container. You may want to use the empty Castrol oil bottle, just make sure you mark it as used oil. Ask your local garage about options for safe disposal. Chances are, a garage in your area will take the engine oil off your hands and arrange for it to be correctly disposed of. If you are unable to find a garage in your area, speak to the local tip, or your state will have an environmental agency that can direct you. Now the job is really done, protected by Castrol engine oil and ready for the road. For more advice, call the Castrol Technical Services Helpline on 1300 557 998 or head to the website castrol.com.au.